December 7th, 1941, a date which will live in infamy.
It's a part of American history that's a very dark chapter. During the war, 120,000 Japanese Americans were put into the camps, forcibly removed from their homes on the west coast of the United States, put into 10 different internment camps in the interior U.S. My late father and his family were a farming family in the central coast of California, and they were forcibly removed from their home, and they had to leave their home with one suitcase each.
I was 13 and a half months old. My mother was pregnant with my younger brother then, too. So I can see why they were very, maybe not scared, but anxious about where they were going. They had like 7 days to get everything together to go. Mom being pregnant, of course, stacked up on diapers because we could only take what you could carry.
My name is Delphine Hirasuna, and I am the author and curator of a book and show that is called The Art of Gaman, Arts and Crafts of the Japanese American Internment Camps, 1942 to 1946. Gaman, when I was growing up, that was the word that every adult said. If I said, I don't like school, I don't want to go, it was like you just have to go gaman and just go anyway. When you talk to people, it occurred to me that everybody said the same word, gaman. I think that when they initially got to camp, I don't think they were thinking of making arts and crafts, but because their living unit had no furniture, it started out just trying to take care of their basic necessities. And because they were held there 3.5 to 4 years, at some point it was like, okay, we've made our furniture, let's see, something to beautify the barrack. And so part of it was just looking for ways to keep themselves entertained, keep themselves from going nuts. What they will find are objects made from found material and scrap, so indigenous things. And it runs the gamut from paintings, mostly watercolor paintings, wood carvings. There are a couple of objects in this show that belong to my family. One is a carved elephant on a globe, and that was done by my grandfather in camp. And then another one is the 1,000-stitch sash. The sash that we have in the show belonged to my uncle. The most common objects that were made were little wooden bird pins and shell pins. When I started doing the book, I decided that I did not want to have an airplane made from a kit. So, my criteria was that it had to be something made from scrap or found materials. And that really defines the show, that people made these things from things they found. There's a cane here made out of cactus. There's a train made from tin cans and file cabinet parts and watch dials and things like that. They were really inventive in what they made. After the war, they didn't see what they made as art, and so they didn't value them as anything more than, as they say, busy work. It was busy work. What I want people to come to the show and realize that the people who were put in camps were individuals, were human beings who had a sensitivity, and to think about what they created and where their interests were.
I think everyone has realized to brand your enemy by the way they look, the way they talk, and maybe the people that they associate with. And I will say for a fact that maybe not my generation, but the generation after is much more vocal about injustices and human rights and the mistakes that the government made and later admitted to. So I think that part is nice, and there's been a movement all over to let this not happen again.
You know, it's obviously a personal story because, you know, my family went through that. But I hope that as many Houstonians and Texans could come and view the exhibit at the Holocaust Museum, because there's such a positive message. Out of the darkest chapters in parts of her life, something just wonderful and beautiful can be created.